Hello, welcome to this series of 5 videos that are a follow-up series from the video where I took you for a short flight to Old Warden, where we discussed the 5 tips for regaining a healthy work-life balance for business owners. So in this series I'd like to elaborate more about every tip that we've discussed, just so that you can understand more as to what needs to be done so that you can indeed regain a healthy work-life balance. So the first tip was set firm boundaries. Now, the problem starts when you open your business, when you are now on your own. There's no one above you, like you are your boss, and unfortunately life becomes work, work becomes life. It's very difficult, especially in the early days when you don't have enough customers, to set those firm boundaries because, well, you have every single hour of the day available to get your business off the ground. So no wonder there's this pressure, this internal desire for you to spend as much time as possible in order to succeed. At the end of the day, there's so much at stake. It could be your whole career, it could be your reputation, let alone your own internal thoughts about how you value yourself if you fail. So understandably, it is very difficult to just simply not work when you are starting a business, or even later on when you run your own business. There's always work to be done. I mean, even if you are successful, as in your company makes money, you can always think about growing your business. You can think about the next step. So there's always work to be done. Unfortunately, all of that leads to the essence of this series, which is a very unhealthy work-life balance. As I mentioned, work becomes your life and your life becomes work. And there's just like no boundaries between those two. You wake up and you work, you live, you work, until the last minute of your day, until you go to bed. Even more so at sleep, when you wake up at night or you have some dreams, that could be about work, and unsurprisingly it will. So you're constantly at work. So that's why the tip says that in order to break that unhealthy pattern, you have to be the master of your own time. You have to take a day in your life and become the master of it. Don't be at the whelm of the time and whatever life and work throws you, but you have to take control of your day. So the easiest way to do that is, as per this tip, set firm boundaries. Set the boundaries where you work and where you are out of work. If you were an employee, and let's go down to basics, if you were, let's say, working at a production line, your shift would start at 6 a.m. and finish at 4, or whatever the timings are. That's it. There'll be no more work for you to do because your shift would have been over. Someone else steps in and takes over from you. Therefore, you are free to go. And surprisingly, it is so much easier to be that employee. Someone else manages your time, and the whole system is built in a way where you actually can't stay overtime. So that is the luxury of being an employee, by the way, which, not many appreciate. But thanks to that, your day is managed. You know when you work and you know when you don't work. So the trick here is that when you are your own boss, you have to deliberately implement those boundaries. So, as I advocate for, I think 8 hours is okay. I mean, I work less, but that's what you are aiming for. As you know, I can go flying whenever the weather's okay, although today the weather's okay, but my plane is grounded because there's a small issue, and with aviation we are very careful and we address things before they actually happen. So that's why I thought I'd record it in this beautiful setting. I love the woods, so here you go. Beautiful background, which also shows you that there's more to life than just running a business. The birds, the trees, nature is just waiting for you to explore it. So that is why you need to set firm boundaries. If you say that you, let's say, start at 8 and finish at 4, after 4 o'clock, just go to the woods, take your children, take your family, take your partner, and just take it in. Half an hour's worth of walk is just so valuable to your mental health and to you recharging, so that you can then be so much better at making decisions, so much more energized at leading your team. You would be much better prepared for important meetings because you've recharged yourself. So that is why it is so important to set firm boundaries when you work and when you don't work. Now, I appreciate that having just a block of 8 hours might not be enough because maybe you need some flexibility. That's fine. Think about what works for you, but most importantly, write it down. If you say that you prefer working, let's say 4 hours in the morning and then having 2 hours worth of break and then another few hours in the afternoon, that's completely fine, but write it down. Don't just think about it and say, oh yeah, that's a good idea and it will happen. No, you really have to be deliberate about it. You have to write it down. If you use a calendar, which is, by the way, a great time management tool, put those blocks into your calendar. Working, not working, working, not working, and stick to it. So that was the sort of deeper explanation of the first tip about setting firm boundaries, and I welcome you to watch the next video where we will discuss tip number 2.